put a drum roll under that, Sydney said. I've got Brooke news, but first I gotta eat something. We booed and hissed, and Claire said, "You're gonna pay for that." Sydney laughed, saying, "Seriously, I'm starving." As she doused her fries with hot sauce, I said, I guess I'll spill my own Brooke news. I went to Sunset Park Prep today and had a chat with Lucas Brooke. "Linz," Sydney said. "You trying to scoop me?" "I need to get a fix on him," I said. "Your friend Kathleen got to me. She hooked me good." I told my friends about my impromptu meeting with Brooke and how he claimed that he'd had a fight with Tara Monday morning and that she'd taken off with the baby in relation. Oh, and he said she's off her meds. He offered to come down and file charges against her for kidnapping the baby, but when I took him up on it, he said no. She'd be home soon. He said he destroyed her credit card. "Could you have arrested him on suspicion?" Claire asked. "I have nothing on him, and Clapper would probably suspend me from duty. Missing persons on the case. So that's what I've got. Sydney, you're up." Sydney put down her fork, dabbed her lips with her napkin, and gave us all a little smirk. "This is off the record, hear me? All of us were guilty of swearing Sydney to the same promise." So we laughed, raised our right hands, and we agreed. Then, using my top sentence, complete paragraphs, and an occasional subhead, Sydney told us what she knew. Misty Lee Fogarty is a senior at Sunset Park Prep. She said she's 18, taking English Lat from Lucas Brooke, and also sleeping with him. He told her that he's leaving his wife for her, Claire said. "I guess when you're 18, you've never heard that before." "Who told you this leaving the wife story?" Yuki asked. "Friend of Misty." And then I spoke to Misty myself on the record. Long blonde hair in a braid. I thought of the girl who came to the door when I was in Brooke's office. "That's her," said Sydney. And Misty said, "Yeah, Lucas put it in writing." I asked, "And you believe her?" Sydney reached for her bag and pulled out a small hand-printed on pink index card. She flashed it so we could see the writing and then read it aloud. "Dear Misty, I'm in love with you. I promise that I will be free and we will be able to get married together by the end of the school year. Love, Luke." I said, "Is it dated?" "Nope." "Well, take a picture of that, will you?" Sydney said. "Send it to me, too." Off the record, I winked. I wanted to compare it with his signature from the DMV file. She growled playfully, took the picture and sent it to me. I wonder if she showed it to Rich later, how my partner would react to my cutting him out. Then I asked our so-called girl reporter, "So what do you think, Sydney? That Lucas killed his wife to be with Misty?" "What do you think?" she asked me. "I think it's lechery," Yuki said with conviction. "It's not evidence of anything criminal, but it could be a match for a fuse. If Tara got wind of it, or what if Lucas flat out told her? If he even needed to, Tara is only 20 years old. If I'm Tara, I said, that's grounds to clear out the safe. If I'm Tara, I said, that's grounds to clear out the safe and grab the baby and take off," Sydney said. "And doesn't tell her mother?" I'll tell you what I think. Lucas Brooke needs a good cop beating under a hot light," Claire said. "Too many old cop movies, Sydney." Yeah, okay, here's my plan. We're running Tara and Lori's photos in the paper and online tonight. Tyler's putting up a $25,000 reward for information leading to finding them. I'm just letting you know, Linz, there may be a lot of phone traffic tomorrow. "It's okay," I said, "whatever it takes. Is there anything you can do to turn up the heat?" I sighed, shook my head no, thinking again that Clapper is telling me to stay out of it. Then I thought of the report I need to write. "Can you please send me the photos?" Sydney picked up her phone and then got so quiet at the table that we hear every single conversation in the room. Cordially meeting in the booth behind us. First date in the booth in front. Drunken laughter at the time of the table to the left. I have a young child at home, so does Claire, so we asked for the check and broke up dinner. No excuses required. We all hugged and then said our goodnight. I thought about Brooke and his family during the entire drive home. I was at my desk by 7:30 a.m., the third time this week, and it was only Wednesday. The message light on my phone console was blinking impatiently. Sydney had warned me that her story about the missing Brooke was the headline reward, was going to set our hotline on fire. But I had a hunch that this call is something different. I picked up the receiver and stabbed the red button. As I thought, the message was from Clara Clapper, Chief of Police. Boxer, it's Clapper. Call me when you get this. Sometimes I just hate being right. Coughlin wasn't in yet because, unlike me or any parent, he could still get 7 hours of sleep. I looked around the squad room. Brady's office was dark. Paul Chi came in, threw his coat over his chair, and waved hello. As he passed my desk on his way to the break room, I followed Chi and stood by the filled coffee pot. He asked, "How you doing, Boxer?" 5 on a scale of 10. Sometimes I wish for 5. He said, "I'm getting arthritis in my right shoulder." "Sorry, Paul." "Nah, it's okay. I need to take some Advil, which I'm going to get with this coffee." "I need to take some Advil, which I'm going to take with some coffee." "What's it going to take to get you up to 7? "You've seen the news," I said. "Yeah, if Tara Brooke was hit on the road with her baby, I hope she's in Canada." Someone on the night shift had stuck the morning paper on top of the microwave. I grabbed it and read the front page. Missing reward information. The subhead was 25K, rewarding the information leading to the return of Tara Wyatt Brooke and her baby daughter. I looked again at the photo, but I didn't bother to read the article. I knew it by heart, both sides of the story. I poured myself a cup of hot java, took my mug back to my desk, and called Clapper. "Chief, it's Boxer." He didn't bother to say the hello. He said, "I just got off the phone with Tom Murray. He says you interviewed Lucas Brooke. I don't see a report from you. Is this right?" "Yes, sir. Murray asked me to help. That meant he was looking for you for support, not inviting you to take over his case." This was really killing me. I had nothing but an excellent relationship with Clapper since my first day in homicide. I knew him. I admired him. Sometimes I thought of him as family. "Charlie, I was wrong to do it. Sorry. But there's a baby missing." "A baby?" "Stop right there, Boxer. You have probable case?" "Stop right there, Boxer. You have probable cause?" "No," I admitted. Chief, why do you want to burst my chops? We have eyes on Brooke. I hope to God you didn't crowd him into making a move. We are all going to regret it." He hung up on me. Coughlin pulled out of a chair and sat down across from me. "What the hell was that?" "That was Clapper handing my ass to me." "You've never heard me say this before, Rich. But I don't know if I can work like this. I don't know if I can stay in this job." I reached out for my coffee but hit the mug and knocked it over. A small lake of black coffee spread across my desk, cascaded onto Richie's desk as well. Chi dropped off a roll of paper towels, and Rich and I had the spill mostly contained when I heard my name. It was Brady. He was standing right there. The look on his face was terrible, his eyes scrunched up, his mouth turned down. He looked like he was in pain. I didn't need a hunch. It was obvious Clapper had called him, and I was about to be disciplined. I was ready. "I can't believe I did this," I sputtered. Brady said, "A red-haired baby girl tentatively identified as Lori Brooke has washed up on Baker Beach." My thoughts scrambled. I had thought I'd be prepared for this, but it was too much too fast. Brady continued, "Uniforms at the scene say the body was waterlogged. That'll have to be confirmed that me has been called." My hands were shaking as I dropped my coffee drenched paper towels into the trash can. I asked Brady, "So you're thinking she's been dead for about 2 days?" "I'm not calling it, but that's probably right." "Any sign of Tara?" Coughlin asked. "Not yet." "Clapper knows?" I said. "I just told him. I said I spoke to Lucas Brooke in his office yesterday. I've got notes and was just going to work up a report." "What did you think about him?" He seemed pissed off at Tara, but not worried or too calm. Brady nodded, said, Undercover cops are watching Brooke in case he runs. I'll see you at Baker Beach. Brady took a call and ran and turned away from us. He was walking back to his office when Coughlin said, "Lindsay, let's go." I nodded, glancing back to the mess on our desk, and I grabbed my jacket. I did a quick inventory to make sure I had my badge, my phone, my gun. Coughlin watched me with concern in his eye. He wasn't going to say everything's going to be all right. Instead, he put his hand on my back and guided me towards the door. "No, I'll drive," he said. "No objections from me." Joe was in his big chair with Julie on his lap, laying against his chest. Our aging border collie, Martha, was at his feet. I said, "Don't get up." Sweet Martha got up anyway, and then Julie squirmed to her feet, and I hugged them both on the way to my husband. I leaned down and kissed him, and he pulled down into his now empty lap. "What's wrong?" he asked. "Nothing, I'll tell you later." Julie held up a greeting card with his hand-drawn rainbow and a dog that looked like little Martha on the front. "Mommy, look at this." "Let me see. It's from Franny." "Oh wow, honey, that's cool." Franny is Francisca, Joe's adult daughter from his first marriage. She lives in Rome, and after her mother died recently, she came here to see Joe and to meet her little half-sister Julie. Big surprise to us all, but a good one. My little girl showed me the envelope with her name on it, addressed printed in blue. When I took a closer look at the card, I saw a few Italian words between the hands of the rainbow. "Can you read this, Mommy?" "It says, Cio Bella." She said Cio Bella along to me. I had to laugh. I said, "It means hello, pretty." "Sweet, huh?" She nodded vigorously. They'd had spaghetti and meatballs for dinner, a favorite meal at the Moreland house. Now Dad needed some computer time. So after I showered and dressed in pajamas, I snuggled up to my little kiddo, a glass of Chardonnay and a pint of pralines and cream, and we watched the sitcom on TV. I sneaked a look at her, wondering if her innocence and easy laughter, trying to remember if I had liked Julie when I was her age. Nothing came to me. By the first commercial break, her eyelids closed, and I whispered, "Time for bed, Julie Bugs." She yawned and put her arms around my neck, and I carried my nearly 4-year-old to her bed. She wanted water, but by the time I returned, she was asleep, breathing deeply under the stars and the moons, Bulbul hanging over her big girl bed. I found Joe in the kitchen with his hands in the dishwasher water. I grabbed a towel. He shot me a concerned look. "Start talking, Blondie." "Grr, must I?" "You know you want to." "Oh, okay." Clapper's told me to stay out of the Brooke case, but I decided to go interview Lucas Brooke anyway. Kept Richie out of it, which, as we all know, shows conscious self-guilt. He handed me a wet dish. How'd it turn out? Nothing to show for it. Brooke plausibly denied having anything to do with his missing wife and child. He has an alibi? Said he was on time for class the day that she disappeared. That may be true, but doesn't account for the night before. What he says is that in the morning, they had a fight about money. He destroyed her credit card and left for school. And his theory is that Tahara looted the safe and took the baby and drove off to piss him off. He says she'll be home when she runs out of cash. He didn't express concern about the baby. Not so you could tell? According to Sydney, Brooke has a girlfriend. Motive enough some men to off their wives. Yup. And I would like to get into this for real. I'd like to interview his girlfriend, but it's not my case, says Clapper, in inofficiary stern tone. What are you going to do? Joe asked. What would you do? I asked first. I sighed as I dried and put away the last of the dishes. Then I said, I'll write up my own interview note. Tell Clapper what I did, say sorry, and make it a case for him not to treat me like a rookie. I mean, come on. I ran homicide not too long ago. I've closed more cases than usual. That I know, Blondie. I hope that's secure enough and his new job to cut you some slack. Sydney's running photos of Tara and Laurie Brooke online tonight and in the morning print edition. It's already on the tube, said Jewel. I had to change the channel so Big Eyes didn't see it. Huh? Well, maybe Tara Brooke will see it and step forward. That would be a happy conclusion, and would get off the hook for Clapper. Oh man, if only Tara phoned in, or someone else came in with a tip leading to her and the baby. Or even a credible sighting. Confirmation that they are still alive. Either way, I think you're covered. I wasn't so sure. I emptied the remains of the Chardonnay into my glass and drank it all the way down.